Good morning. If you didn't know where you were, you're in the city of Eagan. Breathe. And we're going to kick off this meeting right now, okay? We've got to get it going. I just want to say that besides being in Eagan, you're in the county that is the third largest population in the next decade. It's going to be the second largest county in the state of Minnesota. And on an economic stand, according to DEED, we are the number 3 county in the state for economic development. And Eagan is at the heart of that, so you're at the right place. You're also in a region that is in a tither about a 3-inch snow forecast, which drives me just crazy sometimes. But if you listen, there's a noise, there's a buzzing in the background. That is the sound of snow plows idling. So they're all getting ready. I'm John Altoff. I am the President and Chief Mission Officer of the Dakota County Regional Chamber of Commerce. It's my pleasure to be here today with each one of you. I think record attendance, so wonderful. As we partner with the city to present Eagan's 2024 State of the City Address. The DCR Chamber's goal is to drive business and communities forward. As Eagan represents the largest business membership base out of our 9 cities and 500 members that the DCR represents, and we enjoy a regular and enduring collaboration with the city, our goals within Eagan are on track. To see business strength, you don't have to look very far. DCR member organizations are leading the growth. These include the beautiful new Thompson Reuters facility we're celebrating today. Let's give it up for that. What a facility, right? And when we've got Ecolab over there, we've got Prime Therapeutics over there, and Viking Lakes property that was once underutilized land property is exploding with growth, and it's right over there. And then right next door, we have the Open Door. And the Open Door is serving over 15,000 food insecure each month. And there's many, many others, many are represented in this room today. So today is a testament to the power of unity and shared vision. Before we begin, I want to extend a heartfelt thanks to our sponsors, whose support drives our collective success. We have a gold sponsor today, and that is Think Bank. And our silver sponsors today are Neighbor Ecolab, Enjoy Eagan, and Minnesota Energy Resources. I'd also like to thank our elected civic leaders for joining and engaging with us today. It's an honor to have you here with us, and we thank you for the service that you provide to make our communities even stronger. Would you mind standing so you can be recognized? Our elected officials. There we go. Usually not a shy bunch, but evidently this one. Okay. And so now it's my privilege to introduce Tom Walrath of Thompson Reuters.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. John, thank you for the nice, warm welcome. Good morning. Good morning. We can do a little better than that. I think of myself as the warm-up band for the mayor. And don't put me in a position where I'm going to let the mayor down. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, much better. Excellent, excellent. Well done. So I'm Tom Walrath, Vice President of Real Estate and Facilities from Thompson Reuters, and I'm really honored to welcome everyone here to our new facility in Eagan, Minnesota. It's incredible for us to be hosting the State of the City today. Especially as we embark on this new chapter of our office environment in Eagan. I would say please excuse the boxes that you may have seen in the hallways and in the aisleways. Earlier this week, we moved 1,400 people into this facility on Monday. We are halfway through our move. Next week, we have another group moving in, and then the middle part of April, we will turn our office facility on the Opperman campus into an unoccupied use. However, the manufacturing facility that we have over there will remain as is and will remain on that campus. also want to extend our appreciation to the civic, business, and community leaders that are here, in addition to the chamber members in attendance. Thank you for taking the time to be out here today. Thompson Reuters' legacy goes back in Minnesota 150 years. In fact, all right, we'll try that. Wow, that is much better. And we're going to get new batteries with the new building. So Thompson Reuters' legacy goes back 150 years, 45 years in Eagan alone. We're really proud of our legacy, we're proud of our success, and we're proud of our global nature of our business. Last year we announced that we'd be moving our office facility and selling a portion of our Eagan campus. We also shared that our purpose-built Eagan manufacturing operation, print manufacturing, will remain as is on the Eagan campus. After conducting extensive evaluation and research, including conversations with employees, stakeholders, local officials, primarily to provide transparency into our plans, learn more about the environment, learn more about our options, we found the best option for our employees was located right here in Eagan, right in our backyard, and really provided us the environment we needed to give a collaborative, energized, modern work environment that supports the hybrid nature of our work. We couldn't be prouder to be located in Eagan, and we couldn't be prouder to be in this facility today. While many new features of the office space and surrounding amenities were important, the fact that we had so many employees that live in Eagan and live in Dakota County really told us that this location in this area was what Thompson Reuters needed to continue to be successful and build on 150 years of progress that we've made. So thank you, Team Eagan, for all the work and support that you've given us. Thank you to the staff for making all of the information available to help us make the prudent and wise decision for our employees and our customers. And also thank you to the teams of Eagan for what they do on a daily basis to support the work that we do here. So thank you for that. And to our business colleagues in the room, thank you for making Eagan a thriving and successful environment. This community is vibrant. It's live, work, play. We see it every day as we spend time in this community, and it is just the foundation for future success. So thank you for being here today, and I'd like to welcome the mayor to give the State of the City address.
Some may think that I don't need a microphone, but they've actually just pinned it to my lapel, so I can't drop it in the middle of the speech. So, thank you, John and Tom, for the introduction. And welcome to all of you to the 2024 State of the City Eagan address. Thank you, as I look over the room today, for being here. I see our community in front of us. I want to thank you not just for being here, but also for your active engagement and connection with our community and your investments in shaping Eagan's future. And to our hosts, Tom, John. Tom, I want to thank you for opening your doors and sharing this beautiful new space for our community's annual event. This really is kind of a housewarming event. John, I feel like we should have brought cake or a bottle of wine or something, so maybe next time. And John, congratulations to you as well on dropping the interim tag and being named the president of the chamber. It's very well deserved. We appreciate you and the team at the Dakota County Regional Chamber of Commerce for hosting and sponsoring this annual gathering. I'd like also to thank and acknowledge my city council colleagues here and afar and their commitment and dedication to our community. Gary, Cindy, Mike, Paul, really appreciate all the effort that you put in and the work that we get to do together. And to my wife, Janelle, and my son, Ian. These two people and I have been through a lot of life together, perhaps this year more than any other. But I can't say how much I appreciate them for making room at our family table for Eagan over the past 20 years of our lives. Thank you two so much for your support. And a special acknowledgement to our city administrator, Diane Miller, for her dedicated leadership of our city and our city staff as well. She just loves that part of the speech. I also want to offer a big shout out to those behind the scenes who have made today possible. Our communication and engagement team and ETV for their teamwork in orchestrating and broadcasting this event today. And I want to give a shout out to Carl as well, because that was really rapid response on the microphone earlier. So we appreciate your work, Carl, as well. I am proud to be here today to tell you that the state of our city continues to be strong. Monday marked the last day of winter, and for me, that's a good thing. In his song, Go West, Minnesotan Martin Zeller sings about winter and being tired of the dirty snow and that sun that's setting at 3. While we may not have had so much of the 10 below, like Zeller, we hope today to emerge from the suffocating endless gray of winter to breathe in the new season. We are at the beginning of spring, marking a time of fresh starts, new beginnings, and the return of color and warmth. It's in the spring that we reemerge and even reimagine what this year and our future will look like. Some of that rejuvenation will just happen. The sun and spring rains will spark the leaves to grow on trees, wildflowers to bloom in prairies, and dandelions will jump up in our yards, whether we like it or not. But other elements of spring don't or won't just naturally occur. They require our presence, our care, our investment of time and energy. They'll continue to need nurturing to grow, rise, and even thrive. I'm here to share our community story over the past year and the year to come. That story, much like spring, is marked by the seeds that we've planted together beginning to bloom. Today, we reaffirm our commitment, our presence, our investment in change and growth to ensure that Eagan continues to be a place where everyone can thrive. The city, with the help of many of you, has been reimagining our places, our spaces, and our services. Between the shift in office market, our community's increasing diversity, and climate change, the catalysts for change are here. And just like any other city, we can no longer do business in the same usual ways and expect the same outcomes. We are all adjusting, and nowhere are those adjustments happening faster than in our business community. In this new season, companies are using less office space, but looking for more out of it. Just like Thompson Reuters, our host today, they are determining where they want to spend and invest in their futures based in part on public spaces and amenities. Businesses are looking for areas with connections, trails, retail, and restaurants nearby to entice people not only to work for their company, but to come into the workplace. At the same time, in reducing their footprint, these companies are leaving thousands of square feet of office unused and potentially vacant. Our choices today in this new season shape how we attract and retain businesses and the people vital to our community's success. We can stick our heads in the sand and hope that everything works out by doing what we've always done in the past, or we can choose to be a partner and make sure that both those businesses and their people can thrive in our community. This partnership requires us to have a vision for our community's needs, including facilities, programs, and the people, the workers that we need to make it a reality. First, let me give you or share the state of play. The story of Eagan this year has and will be for coming years office space with a large magnifying glass on our corporate headquarters. Whether it's the news of Thompson Reuters looking for a new home, Blue Cross Blue Shield consolidating their current home, or the Delta, Unisys, and former Argosy sites, the reality of office space transformation is here in Eagan. These properties are over 345 acres of land. They employ nearly 10,000 people and represent nearly 4% of our overall tax base. Now, to put that in perspective, we have over 30,000 homes and 2,000 businesses in Eagan. But these 5 properties make up 4% of our tax base. That could fund a new fire engine, 2 new snowplows, or nearly a dozen police vehicles every year. It's not happening, Roger. It might further help to understand the challenge when we realize that on a square footage basis, the old Thompson Reuters building is the size of the IDS tower in Minneapolis, just lying down. Change and uncertainty are in the Eagan air, but we're not alone. The reality is that nearly 3 dozen corporate campuses are currently transitioning in the Twin Cities. Communities of similar size and shape are facing the same uncertainty, fear, and loss that we are. Now, while we're not alone, I would argue that we are better and more uniquely prepared than those other communities. 14 years ago, we faced similar challenges and emotions when Lockheed Martin announced its departure from Eagan. Through that experience, we learned that our council is smart enough and mostly mature enough to know that we can't prevent or hold back global economic tides or inevitable change. We know what we can and cannot control. These shifts can feel uncertain or undefined, and that naturally leads to fear and resistance. But our past has taught us that we cannot let that fear guide us. In fact, we've learned to embrace this uncertainty, to engage thoughtfully in the process, and to help shape the change that will come. We've learned not only how to weather storms, but how to position ourselves and pivot to a new future. We patiently and successfully oversaw that Lockheed Martin transition and later other properties that were considered at the time to be major losses. We came through tough economic climates and provided an environment for these sites to renew and reemerge as Central Park Commons, the Twin Cities Outlet Premium Mall, and Vikings Lakes. And those past efforts now provide us stability when new waves, winds, or weather shows up on the radar. I can confidently stand here and share that I am not anxious about our future, and with good reason. That reason is that we listen attentively when our businesses share their needs with us. And then we seek ways to meet those needs collaboratively. But before I go into the necessities of change and resilience, it's important to acknowledge that these companies are more than just names with tax values and acreages and job numbers in some sort of an economic development report. Like Lockheed Martin, these businesses have been foundational cornerstones shaping our city's identity. They've had a deep impact that can't be found in the pages of the city budget. They've helped to write the most formative chapters of our city's history thus far. These companies have attracted thousands of new people to our community. Over time, these employees have become neighbors, friends, coaches like Carl, and much more. In many ways, they have become our community. And now, it's our job to help prepare for the next chapters. 2 years ago, our Community Development Director, Jill Hootmacher, and City Administrator Diane Miller shared the future of these businesses and the potential impact on our community. They led us through a process to strategically identify our community needs and define the roles that we'd play for each of these sites. Because of their foresight, we were able to determine where we would like to take an active role, or tend the garden, and where we'd like to take a more traditional role, allowing nature, or the markets, to identify opportunities for us to consider. The sites around our beautiful Eagan Central Park, the Unisys site, the former Delta site, and the new Eagan Central are or were in the process of transitioning to new uses. Their proximity to each other and to the Eagan Community Center and Central Park led us to take an active role in the process of shaping change. We determined that it was in the best interests to use our gardening tools and nurture the soil for what we had hoped to grow or develop. We did this by creating the Northwest Central Commons Small Area Plan. We collaborated with property owners, with schools, stakeholders, and Eagan residents to create a vision of these spaces that would serve the needs of the property owners and our community. Here's an update on the plan, our balanced approach, and the vision that we've created.
I'm Jill Hootmacher. I'm the Director of Community Development for the City of Eagan. A small area plan is used to plan for changes in land use, infrastructure, and public services. The Northwest Central Commons is approximately 80 acres surrounding Eagan Central Park and the Community Center. Specifically, it is comprised of the former Argosy University site, now known as Eagan Central, the former Delta Airlines property, as well as the Unisys property. When the city began the planning process, we identified 3 principles to guide our work: balance the demands for public services, a vision that is market-driven and offers long-term stability, and public investment that is driven by and supported by the land use vision. With the loss of office uses, the city prioritized tax revenue growth and the creation of well-paying jobs. The city also hopes to see housing choices within a walkable and bikeable environment and with easy access to services and amenities. Preservation of site features, such as the oak bluff and landscape buffers to adjacent neighborhoods, along with better connected and more sustainable park and open space areas. The city developed a 2-phase public engagement process. In the first phase, the city provided information about the site and its characteristics. The city asked residents about how they use and access Central Park and what types of uses might be appropriate for the project area. In the second phase, the city shared 3 development concept plans which illustrated different ways in which private land surrounding Central Park could be developed. We asked for resident feedback on the concept plans, what people liked and didn't like. That feedback helped us compile the preferred plan. Both phases of public engagement utilized digital, print, and social media, in-person events at the ECC and Market Fest, a designated page on the city's website, and digital surveys which received over 1,200 responses. Through the extensive community engagement, we heard residents' concerns and fears for change, as well as their hopes and vision for the future. What we heard most clearly is overwhelming support for the park, including expansion of the park, protection of the privately owned Oak Bluff, and improvements to sustainability. We also realized through public engagement that due to the currently unmarked boundaries between the park and privately owned land, public perception is that the park is larger than it actually is. Understanding that perception and wanting to match that perception to future reality played a key role in the planning process and final plan. The long-term vision is the repurposing of Eagan Central and the creation of 2 new neighborhoods north of Eagan Central Park in the community center. Eagan Central will be repurposed for multi-tenant office uses. Some additional retail may also be developed. Central Park West, formerly the Delta property, will provide a variety of housing types and be closely connected to the park. Central Park East, the current Unisys site, will be an activity center with jobs, restaurants, and park-compatible uses arranged in a walkable and connected pattern. Thank you for being a part of this exciting journey. Let's continue building a smart and vibrant Eagan.
Central Park West, Central Park East, very uptown of us, isn't it? Is this working? Okay. I'm going to try to keep on going here, I think, and we'll fix this all as we go. Our vision in that special area is stronger because of the voices that we have that have been the foundation of that process. Jill, I want to thank you so much, and for the team that you assembled in creating that vision for Eagan's future. And thank you as well. And thank you as well to our residents and the stakeholders for engaging and sharing your insights into this valued area. Now, at this point, I honestly had hoped that I'd turn our attention to the Blue Cross Blue Shield site and the council's consideration of what the market brought us in the Johnson Brothers proposal. However, the winds of change can indeed shift. Just 2 weeks ago, Johnson Brothers withdrew their proposal. So once again, the future of that site and the accompanying Delta Dental campus are uncertain as we patiently wait for what the options the market will bring us next. And we'll stay our course in the role we've chosen. Unlike the role we took on the property surrounding our community's crown jewel, the Eagan Central Park, in this case, we'll keep our gardening tools in the shed. We'll let nature, the market, identify what opportunities are ahead for us to consider. In the coming months and years, the council and city staff will be diligent and transparent in assessing the future of the Blue Cross Blue Shield site and considering how various options would impact our community. We know that the path for redevelopment on large-scale properties is rarely a straight one. Our experience with developing properties of this size in Eagan has taught us that while some proposals come to fruition, others do not. Just as we have in the past, we will be patient, stay engaged, and learn more as proposals come in. This approach has guided us to decisions that strengthen our community's long-term prosperity. Now, if you'll indulge me, I'd like to share a personal message to our friends who are hosting today. Tom, Thompson Reuters, you are an invaluable asset to our city. From the leadership and generosity in our community to the thousands of employees who call Eagan their work home or their actual home, we know that you are part of our success. And today truly is a celebration for you and for us as a city. We're celebrating today that you found a new home, and it's here in Eagan. John, again, I really feel like we should have brought cake. Missed one on our part. Next year. I hope, Tom, that in the process it was readily apparent to you how much we wanted you to stay here in Eagan. In your eyes. But seriously, on behalf of the City Council and I, we are thankful and proud of our city staff's all hands on deck effort to engage with Thompson Reuters leadership and to help tell the story of why they should stay in Eagan. Team Eagan, thank you so much. Your work is important to us and to the community. Moving forward, We're committed to working with Thompson Reuters and Ryan companies on their former home to ensure that the community needs are met and balanced. Now, as I said, retaining companies like Thompson Reuters and Eagan didn't happen by accident. We knew we had a space right here for them to make their needed adjustments, but that was only a piece of the equation. Businesses know that they are competing for talent on a global basis more now than ever before. They understand that they need this talent to gel, including in office spaces. Top companies are making it clear that when it comes to homes for their headquarters, they aren't just looking for large tracts of real estate anymore, like they were in the past. Instead, they're seeking out places, spaces, and communities that are vibrant and thriving, that are inclusive and connected, and that are accessible and active. They've discovered that the key to getting people excited about the workplace is to have an exciting workplace. Features like trails, transit, restaurants, retail, recreation, and nature compelling enough to lure people away from virtual Teams meetings and into connecting with their teams in real life. Companies can create a portion of that environment, but this is where that partnership comes into play. We've had a vision and a foresight. Over the last decade, with active involvement and input from our community, we've reimagined many of our parks and public spaces to align with the evolving needs of our growing and diverse community. Whether that's introducing pickleball courts, building inclusive play spaces, adding dozens of miles of trails, building a splash pad, or making sure that our historical sites like Holt's Farm can continue to serve future generations. We've committed to make sure that parks and recreation opportunities are available for all ages, interests, and abilities. Yeah, these community investments are a lot of fun, but they are also important. They make sure that we remain a place where people and businesses want to invest, live, and thrive. And it's working. This past year, Fortune magazine named Eagan as one of the best cities for families in the country. However, we can't afford to become complacent. That's why we're planning our future fun, connections, and spaces now. Just as spring prompts us to prepare our tools for garden planning, our Parks and Recreation team is planning our future needs by revamping our Eagan Community Center, the Eagan Art House, and Goat Hill Park. These spaces, which are integral to our community's past and pivotal to our future, are being refreshed. These improvements, designed with sustainability at the forefront, aim to better accommodate the evolving needs and interests of our residents. Our Parks and Rec team actually probably tells the story best.
Eagan Parks and Recreation has a system that we all should be very proud of. 35 years ago, the original park plan established really the core principles of how this park system was developed. It's set up to be really balanced across the city. Over 82% of the city has a park within a 10-minute walk to every home.
In terms of the greatest asset that Eagan has, parks are often referenced, and we're excited about that. It's why we need to continue to invest in those parks to make sure they continue to provide quality services for our residents.
It was about 25 years ago, Eagan saw a huge growth. And during that time, the voters of Eagan voted to have a referendum to pay for several large recreation facilities. And those are many of what we're talking about today in terms of what now is at that age that needs to be redeveloped to really create that next 20 years of recreation for our community.
So over the next few years, you're going to see significant investment being made in 3 facilities: Goat Hill Park, the new art house and the Eagan Community Center, and we're really excited about the services we're going to be able to continue to provide to our community. Right now, we are building the new roof over the Goat Hill refrigerated ice.
The new park shelter building is not just going to be an ice rink. It's going to be an outdoor refrigerated ice rink in the wintertime, but in the summertime, it will be a nice building that people can rent for family gatherings. So it will have a wide range of opportunities to meet a lot of different needs.
I've loved the art house since the very beginning. I started there at the art house in 2011, and it just is something for everyone.
The Eagan Art House, a facility that really for many years has been operated out of a 1,200 square foot house. The growth of our art programs and artists across the city and region has really created a demand for so much more. Really, the time is now to create a specialized art facility that will help meet that demand.
I feel very passionate about the need for a new art house and opportunities it'll provide for people for their creative wellness.
And the community center, that was originally designed to be, this meeting place, and I think over the years it's expanded. The Market Fest, you got all different ages and backgrounds, a great entire melting pot of the city.
The Eagan Community Center, really a pinnacle of our park system. You'll see people in there from 8 months old to over 80 years old. It all comes down to the community and doing things that keeps them active and healthy and thriving.
As we think about these next projects, we're really keeping a keen eye on being inclusive as we think about not only the process for how we create the buildings, but looking at the users themselves. We're going to have every different age, race, physical ability, all of our residents wanting to use these spaces, and we need to make sure that all of these facilities are going to work for every member of our community.
That's one of the beautiful things of Parks and Recreation is being able to serve just about anybody and everybody.
So we know this is a significant investment from our taxpayers to build these new facilities to improve the community center. So we want to make sure the work that we're doing will sustain us for the next 30+ years.
Thank you, Andrew, and to our entire Parks and Recreation team for leading the way, and to our city staff as well for partnering with the Parks Department on these various projects. Now, connecting these fun spaces in our community is a job that our Public Works team excels at. Connection is a key value in our city. Maintaining mobility, access, and connectivity through all 4 seasons, not just summer, requires a steadfast commitment to that value. Thanks to our dedicated team, strong local infrastructure for cars, bikes, and pedestrians links our residents to retail, to restaurants, to recreation, to schools, to work, essentially to community. We appreciate the efficiency of travel in Eagan and our opportunities, and our community gets its top marks in this area. Now, we like to think that we're doing a pretty good job. And it's an honor that our community echoes and even amplifies these sentiments. This past year, your voice led to our team receiving a National Voice of the People Award for mobility. Here's what that entailed.
You can know you're in Eagan not because of the sign that says Eagan, Minnesota, but because of the roads you're driving on, the trails you're riding or walking on, different means that provide safe access and crossing for pedestrians and bicyclists in town. It's a complete Public Works team effort to achieve an award like this. The staff is meeting the desires of the folks here in Eagan. It's a full-time job, and it's a full team job to ensure that we're continuing to make Eagan be a place where mobility is a priority within the community, and we have to maintain that priority throughout the year. Whenever we do a project, we reach out to the community that's be most impacted, and then we ask for their opinions. We ask for them to share with us what are their concerns, what are their interests. We want to hear from them so they can give us some insight into how that area actually functions for them or how they'd like it to function for them. We present to them what the proposed improvements are based on what we see as the needs, but we'll always provide opportunities for folks to connect with us electronically or else in person and share with us what their interests and needs are. Whether you want to walk to where you're going or whether you want to drive to where you're going or bicycle to where you want to go, we want to make sure that everyone, that they feel safe doing so.
I think you can see the Public Works Department's pride in that video. And thank you, Russ, and to all of our Public Works team for your work, your dedication, and your leadership. We know, however, that we can still do better. We also know, moving forward, that our team will keep doing the work, and with a particular lens on sustainability and equity. And they will continue to find ways to strengthen mobility for all of our residents. Last year, in this speech, I outlined the very real impacts of climate change in Eagan, including shorter skating and skiing seasons, poor air quality, drier summers that affect our lawns and playing fields, or extreme temperatures with even more profound impacts. Since then, over the last 12 months, you've experienced, in the state of hockey no less, the closing of our outdoor skating rinks for nearly the entire winter. To date, we've had only one measurable snowfall all year. And yes, I have seen the weather forecast. The ice maze, which was on the precipice of breaking a world record right here in Eagan at Vikings Lakes, was canceled. So, as Vikings fans are fairly used to saying, maybe next year. And if I can jog your memory back to last summer, smokes from wildfires resulted in weeks of canceled recreation and sporting activities. In our most cherished summer season, many of us were forced indoors. If it wasn't the air quality, it was a lack of rain. Many of our grassy fields instead turned into dirt fields. All the while, we broke average high temperature marks throughout 2023 and into 2024. It's clearly time for us to multiply our efforts. So we are. In collaboration with city staff, the Sustainable Eagan Advisory Commission, and community members, we are creating a climate action plan that outlines steps that the city and our community can take to make a positive impact. It will also guide how we as a city use our sustainability fund to support our cross-departmental efforts to reduce the city's carbon footprint in the coming years. And we need you and your help in this effort. Much like climate, we know that no matter how much we prepare, we aren't immune to the economic factors happening all around us. Last year, inflation and interest rates slowed down the development pipeline, impacting new construction in our city and around the globe. But again, the strength and resilience of our business climate is rooted in our commitment to economic diversity, investments in infrastructure, and the balance and trust in our local economy. Even during this economic shift, Eagan remains a great place to do business. We're proud of the fiscal stability that we've created, including the renewal of our AAA bond rating in 2024, our low debt, and our strong fiscal management. In a year of increased interest rates, we had nearly $90 million invested privately in our community in 2023. We didn't have a new Vikings Lakes or a Twin Cities premium outlet mall, but we did see over $50 million invested in remodeling commercial spaces. What that tells us is that in a shifting market and global tides, businesses are continuing to invest in Eagan as their long-term homes. Now, you might get sick of me saying it, so I'm going to. Eagan is continually rated by residents and organizations as one of the best communities in the nation. This achievement stems directly from our investments in our community's priorities, including public safety, the natural environment, and the local economy. Each year, as we look ahead to the next one, we renew our commitment to maintaining award-winning service levels. Now, forgive me for this not-so-humble brag, but the latest community survey showed that our highest performance ratings corresponded to our community's top priorities. This alignment underscores our commitment to investing in what you value. Now, let's shift our focus to that safety dot for just a second. It's easy to just look at that and say, well, that's pretty good. But what I need to call out is that while safety is a top priority, as it is in nearly every community, what stands out here in Eagan is that in contrast to the divided global sentiments around public safety, our teams continue to have the trust and confidence of the community. We, and especially our public safety personnel, should be proud of that community support. Whether it's been transitioning to new technologies or tactics, or new service models, and even new leaders, our police and fire departments have literally and figuratively answered the call, and for that, we thank them. Speaking of answering the call, just a few weeks ago, we were reminded of what the calling to public safety service is and what it can entail. The tragic events in Burnsville on Sunday, February 18th, and the heroism and sacrifice of Burnsville police officers Paul Elmenstrand, Matthew Ruge, and firefighter paramedic Adam Finseth calls us once again, as Mr. Rogers would say, to look for the helpers. Members of Team Eagan were on site in Burnsville that day. And they were there in the aftermath as well to support the community and the city of Burnsville. This horrendous event that took the lives of these heroes is a tragic reminder of the kind of commitment, honor, and service that we sometimes take for granted. So, in honoring these fallen heroes, please join me in saying to our own public safety family here in Eagan, we see you, we feel your pain, and we share it. Most importantly, we can't thank you enough for your dedication and your commitment. I'm proud that our team has been in Burnsville, helping in so many ways to make that load, even just for brief moments, a little bit lighter. We know that when we are in need, you have our backs. And that's why police and fire, when you are in need, we have yours. Please, will all of our public safety personnel in the room rise and accept our appreciation? Thank you. While we know that our public safety personnel exemplify our standards for service and response with dignity and care, many before you have helped pave the way. This past year, we had the honor to celebrate the 60th anniversary of our Eagan Fire Department. Over those 60 years, we have reimagined our own fire response and what fire response can be. We've especially done that in the last 5 years. This is a real and tangible milestone in our community. So it's proper that we reflect on who we are now, but also how we got here.
We've come a long way since 1963. In 1963, the Eagan Fire Department was born, with just 41 brave souls and a dream. They started with little more than determination and a 1942 military surplus fire engine named Jenny.
We've grown from a small volunteer department to a part-time paid department, one of the biggest in the state, to a combination department of full-time and part-time. And now we're all career, all full-time, here to respond from the stations 24 hours a day, every day of the year.
Eagan's firefighters actively engage with the community at events like National Night Out, the Food Truck Festival, and our biggest event of the year, our Fire Prevention Week open house. Our open house is still our biggest event as far as welcoming people into our station, talking about safety, kids having fun and learning safety at the same time, getting their fire hats. We visit every school in Eagan. We're everywhere throughout the city. On weeknights, we're working with Girl Scout and Brownie and Cub Scout groups that'll either come to our station or we'll stop at their school. We back some military fun runs where we'll hang a flag off our ladder and support that. There's so many different events that we do in the city, and we work hand in hand a lot with our Parks Department at a lot of their events. So there's a great partnership in the city with public safety and other departments, and we're all Team Eagan. Our success is a result of the strong bonds we've built with our community. We're here when you need us the most.
It doesn't matter where we go. If it's a school, if it's a community center event, the community always make us feel like we're supported.
Thank you, Eagan firefighters!
We've had some of the best firefighters in the state of Minnesota go through these doors and serve the residents and visitors to Eagan, and we're very proud of them and what they've achieved.
John, I don't know if you noticed it, but they had cake. All the same, congratulations to Eagan Fire on 60 great years of serving our community, and thank you so much for that. Now, most city services are provided by people. In fact, 85% of our city's annual budget goes to funding the people who make our community work, including those who fix and plow our streets, provide for public safety, maintain our parks, and facilitate our community events, even those who plan our community's future. Yet Eagan is facing the same challenges that many corporations, nonprofits, and public organizations are experiencing. That is, recruiting and retaining employees that more specifically, a workforce that reflects the community that we serve, our customers. Our city, region, and state are changing. More people from a wide variety of backgrounds make up our community. Today, over 1/3 of Eagan adults identify as Black, Indigenous, or people of color. And 46% of children in Eagan are BIPOC. That diversity brings great new opportunity. In the next few years and decades, it'll be important for us to think about how our changing community will affect how we provide our services. As a city, it's our goal to offer every resident access to top-notch services and programs. As an employer, we must ensure that we hire the people who can help us provide those programs and services most effectively. So, we are committed to making sure that we have the workforce, the people that we need. Corporations, nonprofits, and public agencies continue to observe that employees' diverse backgrounds and perspectives make organizations stronger. Our efforts align with Eagan companies like Thompson Reuters and Blue Cross Blue Shield, which have also identified workforce diversification and retention as top priorities. That's why our focus has shifted from seeking qualified candidates who are a cultural fit to seeking qualified candidates who are a culture add. The addition of new and emerging voices and abilities in staff can help challenge previous approaches and improve programs, practices, and policies. Our values are at that foundation, and the pillars that we've identified to help raise our efforts are through a seasonal employee engagement initiative, internships, and pathways programs, including the incredible effort put forward by our police department. Instead of me sharing these experiences and the impacts, I'll hand it over to Team Eagan's current and future members.
We offer a lot of different types of careers in one organization. And so there's a lot of entry points depending on what your background, your experience, your passion is.
When we go out and look for people, we're looking for people who it is important to them that they can have an impact on the community that they serve. It's really critical right now that we're making sure that our staff better represents the community because we haven't done a very good job of that in the past. And it's important for our community to see that their staff represents them.
So when you're at Cascade Bay, when you're at the ice arena, you're seeing peers who look like you.
That's been a huge effort for us in the past couple of years, and I'm proud to say we're seeing a lot of success. We're attracting strong candidates, we're getting creative in the approach that we're taking. We need to go out and find the right people.
The biggest thing that we're looking for is that they're bringing a unique perspective to the position. And so we're looking at what can they add to our organization. And so that is different backgrounds, different knowledges, skills, abilities that the current workforce in the organization doesn't currently have or we can build upon. We have a Pathways program through our police department, and our Pathways program is collaboratively working with other law enforcement agencies in the metro area to find individuals who have already established either a 2-year or 4-year degree. And they realize that they want to change course, and they instead want to focus on a potential career in law enforcement.
I was kind of very unhappy at my job. Really, I wanted a job where I felt like I was doing something good, and I saw the posting for the cadet position through Pathways. I knew this is what I wanted to do.
You're able to, recruit people from just a diverse backgrounds as far as what they've been doing, and then you can pull some of their strengths and some of their talents and abilities into this field that this field maybe otherwise hasn't gotten. I think it offers a lot of benefits and helps build the police department up to a more diverse skill set.
We have a really robust internship program. We've had it for a number of years, and that gives our interns a summer to work in a field of their expertise.
When I interviewed for my first role here at the City of Eagan as an intern, I was 21 years old. And if you would have told me that 21 years later you'd be the city administrator, I would have said, you are nuts. So my message to everyone is believe in yourself, Make connections so you can learn. Ask the questions. People want to help.
Working in an office setting and being able to, like, hey, I think what you're doing is cool. I want to be able to talk to you. Can we set up a meeting? Like, that's something that I would never have been able to do before starting here.
We spend a lot of time on building and showcasing our culture. We gave them networking opportunities, not only with one another, but with our department directors.
The City of Eagan has been such a great place to work for. It's a great segue into learning more about the real world.
You realize what it's like to work with peers and experts, and that's the thing that we're really focused on for our internships, but also our seasonal positions, is just giving our hires an opportunity to experience what it's like and giving them that first taste of what it's like in the workforce. And we take pride in knowing that we're setting them up for success. They're learning the essential job skills so that they can be successful in those next careers that they have as they're growing in their career.
The skills that you build here are so high level that, like, when you go out there to look for an actual job, you're like, oh wow, I already know all of this, like I can do this.
The way this has helped me grow professionally is being so young as I am, just in high school, having a job, having a schedule you have to do. I think that it will make me better off being able to come in, be on time, get my stuff ready to go, and do my job.
This is my first job. This job helped me talk to my coworkers better, talk to strangers better, and now I know how to open conversations. I am a better person because of this job.
One of the main reasons that I love coming back to Eagan year after year is because of the people that I work with.
There's a lot of diversity in this group, which is nice, so we all bring different experiences to the table and we can all have real conversations about personal growth and experiences, which is really cool.
Our vision for the future is constantly evolving, and that's going to mean going out and trying to find people, bringing more perspectives, more backgrounds into the discussion. We can serve one another better in that fashion.
Now, I'm not going to tell you who it is, but I am told that in that video is a future city administrator for the city of Eagan. Indeed, the future is bright for Team Eagan, for public service leadership, and for our community. Now, we've covered a lot of ground today, both metaphorically and physically, what with the number of sites and spaces that I've talked about. I want to reiterate that when the winds of change bring uncertainty and fear, we must resist the temptation to cling to our past. Instead, let's remain true to our guiding principles and look to the future. I'm here as well to declare that at the center of all of this reimagining is you. Our residents, our businesses, our stakeholders who are committed to making Eagan a successful city and a strong community where everyone can thrive. And you've shown up. Your active participation has been remarkable. Whether it was in council chambers, at Eagan Market Fest, community gatherings, or through digital platforms, you have made your voices heard. Last year, we received a remarkable 2,200 survey results and engaged in hundreds of in-person and email conversations, covering topics like the small area plan, rental licensing, park facilities, and even the occasional email asking me to stop with the gratuitous Red Sox references in the state of the city. Too late. Your voices have made these programs, plans, and visions stronger. We are grateful for the care that you have for our community and your neighbors, and your willingness to contribute your perspective. It's the combination of our shared and diverse values, coupled with our commitment to listening, collaborating, and evolving, that will continue to drive prosperity in our community and the state of the city. While some aspects naturally bloom, there are pivotal elements, such as new initiatives, plans around development, sustainability, equity, and more, that demand deliberate attention, care, and nurturing. Your visions and voices are the essential nutrient for these concepts to grow, cultivating an inclusive and thriving Eagan community. I thank you for that, and I invite you to join the council and I, along with our city staff, and remain steadfast, and on these first days of spring, to renew again our commitment to each other and our community. Thank you. And now, John, let's get some cake. Thank you very much, everybody.